Let me know when we're live.
We're live.
We're live. Hi, everybody. Now you know what I do for a living. It's being awkward, and I do it great. So thank you for joining us. This is our virtual librarian reviews. These are what we call our small librarian days. Not that we have little librarians, but we also have a big event coming up in October. It's the second Tuesday of October. It'll be an all-day event. You should be getting a flyer on it soon. If you are joining us for the first time and you would like to join our librarian email list to know about these things more often, you can email me at chris.jager, Jager, at bakerbookhouse.com. And then I can get you on that list and you can get all kinds of fun things to know about what our church librarians are doing. So we're going to get started today with some nonfiction books. We have had some adjustments here at Baker. We have had some people move on to a different career, which means I am now doing nonfiction again, which also means I'm not sure if these have been done before, so I apologize for that. But I did pick up some really new ones, so I know those haven't been. So the first one I'm doing is called The Wonder Dogs. It's actually just stories of different dogs that are, what do they call them? Assistant dogs. Not necessarily for the blind or something like that, but sometimes they're just that they take care of the people that they're with. And so it's lighthearted, it is happy, and I have to tell you, that's probably one of the reasons I picked it, because I kind of needed that yesterday. So some of it will make you laugh right out loud, some of it will make you cry. So these are good stories. And then this is a biography by Marcus Brotherton, excuse me. And I think he's done other biographies, but this one is about the Green Beret medic. He flew a helicopter in Vietnam. And so he was the one that would go in when other people wouldn't. There are some amazing stories in here. I mean, this reads like a fiction book. I mean, it's hard to believe that people would do that, but it goes, and shows the different pictures and such. Some of them, and I think these are cute, is very typical of the 60s pictures when he got married and such. So, but there are also some pictures of the people he met in Vietnam when he was over there fighting the battles. So this is an amazing story. But I will tell you, it's probably one of those that, like, if you have veterans in your church, they would probably be very interested in this one. So. Kevin Lehman, 8 Secrets to Raising Successful Kids. You know what? It's Kevin Lehman. Every time you read it, it's like, boy, I'm surprised my children survived childhood because I didn't do any of this. So, so good for you kids that are doing good. But he writes with a good sense of humor. He also is very encouraging. He is not ever telling you you are doing it completely wrong and your children are going to turn out terrible. These are just ideas he has that will help you raise good children. So he has written many books about marriage, but also about kids. So good author. This is the one I was unsure if we had done last month, and for some reason I had deleted last month's list. Sorry about that. But Taken at Birth, it is actually a story of a young lady who was one of the stolen babies, and I am not sure which. And this is in North Georgia, so it's a little bit different setting than the Lisa Wingate stories we quite often talk about, but the same concept. She was stolen as a baby and then sold into adoption. And it's her dealing with that, but also trying to find her birth family. So, and I've had a couple of people read this and really like it. So, and then Charles Stanley's newest one, Can You Still Just Trust God? What happens when you choose to believe? So in these times when we feel like we're completely losing control, he is reminding us that we believe in a God that we can trust to make sure we get everything. Or everything is going to be okay in the end, because he's written that in the Bible. I've got plans for you. Might not be smooth sailing, but we'll get there. So, and Charles is just one of those people that a lot of people listen to and read. So, so it's a neat book for this time, all the things going on. So those are our nonfiction. I know I went through them very quickly, so you are welcome to send in questions if you are online. Let us know. But we're going to have Jessica take over now. So thank you.
Hey guys, I have a very short list today, but I am going to get right into it. I am excited about some of these titles that I'm going to be reviewing today. So Max and Cato just came out with his Anxious for Nothing. This is for 9 to 12-year-olds. Again, it takes his adult book and just brings it down to the kids level, helps them learn how to live in God's peace instead of in fear and anxiety and all that goes with it. This next one is for 9 to 12 as well. This is fiction. It's Little Pilgrim's Progress Illustrated Edition. They turn the characters into cute little animals, and it's just a very, very cute addition to the story. And beautiful, beautiful artwork in the pages. In the God's Very storybook series, we have 2 new stories joining. We have the creation story as well as Esther's story. I do have the other titles, so if you're interested in those, let me know. These are just very cute, rhythmic stories that are culturally accurately depicted. Little illustrations. They're adorable. This next one is by Joanna Rowland. She is the author of The Memory Box. She just came out with this one, which is Big Bear Was Not the Same. So Big Bear starts off, as this brave bear that's not scared of anything, but he gets caught in a forest fire, and that changes things. Every time he smells smoke or hears certain sounds, he gets really scared. And Little Bear, his best friend, kind of sticks with him through it all and helps him know that it's okay to still be afraid of these. But it talks on like the post-traumatic stress and not only how to cope through that, but how as a friend we can help those that we know that deal with that as well. Okay, and then for the God Made Me series, again, I have the other titles in the series too. If you're interested, let me know. We have God Made Me in His Image and God Made Me for Heaven. So in His image obviously talks about how God created us individually, but also to reflect Him. It teaches us how to appreciate how God made each and every one of us. And then the God Made Me for Heaven talks not only what heaven's going to be like, but more specifically what eternity is going to be like living with Jesus. That's all I have for you guys.
We are obviously keeping this short and sweet. July and August are not huge book release dates. So yes, our titles can be a little bit shorter and smaller, but it doesn't mean the titles aren't as good. So again, I only have a very short one, but there's some good titles in here. So Robin Lee Hatcher's new one. This is a standalone. It is called, and I have to read it because I've gotten this title wrong about 10 times, Make You Feel My Love. And it's in 1895, and Cora jumps on a cross-country train and meets on the way to New York, and who she meets there. And then 100 years later, Chelsea Spencer's is fleeing a dangerous situation. And so their stories intertwine 100 years apart. It is not a time jump, but it is a dual time. So you can read both stories. Robin has been around a long time writing in the Christian fiction market, and she's still one of the favorites amongst readers. Then Woman in Shadows by Carrie Stewart Parks. I'm actually out of that right now. It is a straight mystery. It is a standalone. She did write a series. Now she's writing standalones. I love Carrie's books, to be honest with you. She's one of those that writes a really good mystery, but her characters are really good, and you want to get to know them a little bit. But I don't always figure out her answers before the end of the book, which I really do like, because I was just reading one a little while ago that it was like by the second chapter I knew who had done it, and it was like, eh. So I like when I have to work a little harder to figure it out. So if you do want that one will have to be ordered. So this time around is actually a 3-in-1, but I also know these authors are big fans or have lots of fans in my audience. So Denise Hunter, Melissa Ferguson, and Catherine Fuller. Catherine is known also for writing Amish books. These are all 3 contemporary. They all kind of intertwine together. In a Summer Detour by Denise Hunter, Pining for You by Melissa Ferguson, and then He Loves Me Not by Catherine Fuller. So all of them write with a good sense of humor, nice. These are one of those where I would say this is a great beach book, so a little bit lighter, but lots of fun to read. Okay, so this book, to be honest with you, it took me a little while to warm up to it, but once I figured out what they were doing in it, it's a hilarious thing. So Mary Newberg is like, she feels like she's the last Christian girl not married. And then she goes to her best friend's wedding, and a stranger hands her a magazine article that says, from 1950s, that says ways to get a husband. And so she takes that article and decides to follow all of those little steps, trying to find a husband, and then she tapes it and, you know, is using it for different things. But just funnier than all get out, because there are things, you know, they're going to list something. I should have looked this up. You know, number 50 was bake his favorite dessert. Bad cooking will drive your man to seedy saloons. Okay, so you can tell. Number 80, don't be catty unless you're purring like a kitten. Sorry. But anyways, that's what makes it fun. Okay, we can see our cultural differences. We can see what the 50s and how we were thinking of we had to get husbands at the time and such. So and so she does discover more than just a husband. She discovers a lot about herself and those around her too. So, but just a fun read, very just hilarious. I'm happy to say Susie's book is in the store. I know last month I talked about it and we were waiting for it to come in. So The Nature of Small Birds, if you have not gotten this yet, you're going to want to get it. It's a delightful book. It's a 3-person viewpoint of Mindy's story. Mindy was brought over from Vietnam and adopted by the family. And this is the sister, the father, and the mother's perspective on Mindy's adoption and what it's like to have her in the family, and really, really well done. There's funny parts. There are very typical parts where the sisters fight like normal sisters, you know, but still are great friends. And I think that's what's heartwarming about it, but really, really well done. So, and a different perspective on, you know, what the family dynamics are in an adoption. I like that this is titled Banished, subtitled An Amish Romance. So I'm like, I'm not sure those two go together. So, but that is what Linda Byler writes. She writes Amish romances, and there are a lot of people that love to read her. She's one of those that a lot of people will like to read while they're waiting for like Beverly Lewis's next book to come out, or any of the other Amish. So if you have Amish fans at your church library, you're going to want these again. This one's set in the 1900s with Obadiah and Mary Weather's parents tragically killed, leaving them orphans at 10 and 11. So, so there is not just silliness to it. She writes some really good in-depth stories. So, and then The Chase, which is book number 2 in the U.S. Marshals, and book number 1 is The Escape. To be honest with you, the covers are a lot alike. So just know when you're on the shelf, make sure you clearly read the titles, because I actually have grabbed The Escape twice and sold the wrong book to people. So even I'm doing it. So Lisa writes romantic suspense, high impact, very fast paced. I find her books lean more towards the suspense than the romance, but I really like them. So she's got quite a name for herself. So if you have, I've always mentioned, you know, like Lynette Eason or Irene Hannon, Terry Blackstock, Colleen Coble, all those that are writing romantic suspense. Don't leave out Lisa Harris. And she's one that some of the guys are reading. So maybe because she puts guys on the front cover, I don't know. But and then Lynette Eason's new one, Hostile Intent. This is book number 4 of The Danger Never Sleeps. And 1, 2, and 3 are Collateral Damage is book number 1. Acceptable Risk is book number 2. Active Defense is book number 3. So I have all 4 on the shelf, and they're actually all on special for this month. So if you don't have them, or if you're missing 1 or 2 of them, right now is the time to pick these up. This is a great deal. So, but yeah, she's, you know, she's one of those that, because I have talked about her so often, I find it hard to say something new. But she's one of the ones that was blazing the trail for the romantic suspense genre that is now what it, you know, is all over the place. So she is one that is still a fan of a lot of people. I do have male and female readers because she leans a little more again to the suspense. So the guys really like her. But yeah, she'll keep writing, and we'll all keep reading them. A new series from Barber called The Heroines of World War II. And this is a word that I have trouble with. Cryptographer's dilemma. think I got it right. And this is about the code breaking in World War II. And so each one of them is going to be a different women's story from World War II and how they, like she was one of the code breakers. I'm assuming we're going to find nurses and we're going to find some of the donut dollies and things like that. They're going to be all different stories, different authors. We are very used to Barber's different series where they have different authors do all these books. So they're all a little bit interconnected, read them in any order. So, but this is their new series. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I just came in the other day, so I have not had a chance to read it, but I am familiar with Johnny's writing, Johnny Alexander, and she does a good job. So no, these are going to have a little more romance in them. So some of the guys would probably be interested in reading them if they were veterans, especially World War II veterans, but also make sure they understand that there's going to be some romance in it. And then this is an Amish 3-in-1 story. I think this was the last 3-in-1. But again, because of who the authors are, and because I know Amish readers like them, Amy Clipston, Catherine Fuller, yes, the same Catherine Fuller, and then Shelley Shepherd Gray. And so these guys are all writing in different ones. Class for Laurel by Amy, A Lesson on Love by Catherine, and Wendy's 20 Reasons by Shelley Shepherd Gray. So all of them are very nice, wonderful Amish writers. They all have the experience. They're fans, or they're fans of all Amish writing. Love these 3 authors. So again, if you have the readers, you should check these out. And this is a good way to introduce new authors. You can try the 3-in-1, and then you have a different author you might not have had before. So. And then actually the last 3 I have here, and because it was a short list is why I did it, all 3 of these are teen books, okay? So these 2 are the series that Focus on the Family are doing called the Riverbend Friends. So they're actually asking different authors. Some of them I'm very familiar with, like Jill Williamson, and some not as familiar, Sarah Ann, and I'm not, Stumpolek? Sumpolec. I'm not sure if I said that right. To be honest with you, Sarah Ann, if I got it wrong, I'm really sorry. But anyways, this is teen books, different high schoolers, and each one is a different main character. They're a group of friends, obviously, hence the title of the series, and each one it deals with some big issues. Let's see, Amelia in this one is feeling a bit lost. Her parents are involved volunteering as marriage counselors and such, and her older brother is off. So she's trying to find her way and her spot in the world. And this one is about winter's break and her favorite time of year, but this year she feels lonely and how come and how to deal with that. So I mean, these are real issues that teens are dealing with. And then Brutal Justice, this is book number 2 of the Netta Rising series. Interesting concept. That it is a fantasy sci-fi book where there's a new country in the world. It is completely run by women, and it's how good or bad, I'm not going to tell you. And so, and because it's book number 2, I do recommend reading these in order, because otherwise it's not going to make any sense whatsoever. And I am not finding out which book number 1 is. Sorry about that. I thought it was. There it is, Gentle Tyranny. Thank you, Jessica. So I do recommend them in order. This is not necessarily a girl book. I think a guy could read it too, because there are some really good guy characters in there and the struggles they have being secondary, because this is a matriarchal society. If you are a male, you are treated differently than if you're a female. So, so just an interesting concept and something to think about when we swing one way or another. So like I said, a small list today, very, very small list. So that probably bodes well for August and September when we meet again in September. So right now we are planning on meeting in the store in September. Things are changing again. We all know that. Today is an example because we're meeting in the event space, as you can see, as opposed to the community room. So keep your eyes open for emails. As fast as things change, I try to let you know if things cancel or get changed, but you can always join us virtually, and then plan on October. Again, we will for sure have it virtually and punt into that if we have to, but we will right now plan on having you guys in the store. I'm even hoping to have gift bags this year. So we're hoping. So as things change back again. So, but thank you for joining us online. We really appreciate that. Thank you for coming into the store. And I'm going to quick look at Michelle. Any questions? Okay, awesome. So, but if you do, please feel free to either jump on the Facebook page or email me at the email I gave you earlier. So you guys all have a good day. Bye.